The official release date of Rev and Thule Coast is just 10 days away, and I thought it was time, now that we have an actual release date, to get out here and kind of explore some of the maps that we maybe don't hunt as often. We know with this update there are going to be a lot of pop resets and redistributions, and I basically thought we should get out and make sure we're not missing anything. So what better time to make our return to Cuatro Colinas after a couple of months since getting our great one. We'll just kind of see what's out here, and we may even switch to another map by the time we're done. And it would appear as though we're starting off with some roe deer. Now, I don't want to basically go and do our red deer run again. Technically, there would be a chance that there would be some kind of rare respawn. In theory, I guess we could have had another great one spawn, but that seems extremely unlikely. And the point is, that's the one thing that we've been doing on Cuatro Colinas at all in the last 6 months or so. Just checking those lakes at that particular time, and there could have been plenty of things out there. I remember Kyla came to help on the ground the one day and ended up killing a diamond wolf. So I'm trying to avoid the red deer lakes, at least at red deer drink time, and go and check some of the other spots, because I think that is what has a much higher potential of producing something. But as for our roe deer, I think he should make gold. He has a gold at 67.7, summated by about 3. And that is one thing, we have a nice roe deer multi-mount with a melanistic gold and a piebald gold. Adding an albino to that would be pretty cool, and that, what the heck? Well, there you go. There's a good reason, I guess, to come out to Cuatro Colinas. I was gonna say that looked like a big roe deer. Where was he? Alright. No complaints from me. That looks to be the big rack. If I'm not mistaken, it is. If I'm not mistaken, we'll just take that long shot right there with the 243. What on earth? I didn't expect... I mentioned maybe switching maps. I didn't expect to find anything on Cuatro. I mean, Cuatro's pretty good for diamonds and rares, generally speaking, but I just thought the amount of time that I had spent out here, in all likelihood, maybe I would have encountered things such as that, but yeah, first field we went to, we've got ourselves what I think is going to be a diamond roe deer. I don't know if that rack can troll. Maybe I shouldn't get too far down into the predictions just in case, but definitely seeing that level 3 is a good sign. I want to say that's the big rack. I guess there's only one way to find out. He is big rack, max weight, 85.6 diamond roe deer. I can't believe that just happened. Left lung in 150 meters, what the heck? So technically, this is going to be a tough decision. We have a roe deer that scores higher than this, but it was shot at a time when they basically had much higher scores than now. You could get roe deer up into the 90s. Now you don't really see much above 86, so we may display that one in that multi-mount instead, because I think it's the same rack, just a different score, and because of the fact that it's max weight, it kind of makes more sense. I don't know, we'll have to think about that. I'm genuinely in shock. I thought this was going to be a really tough hunt to try to find something on a map that we hit so hard there for months, but nah, it was just waiting on us right at the beginning. And I guess to complete our trifecta of roe deer, we've got another gold at 67.5 for that guy. Can't believe we didn't hit the skull with that shot. Pretty proud of the way that worked out, and yeah, I guess maybe we'll keep on going through the fields and see what else is out here early morning. I really have no intention to turn this into a roe deer hunt, but we've got another max would estimate roe deer buck. Might as well go ahead and take that shot as well. And we're kind of into red deer drink time, and like I said, I don't really intend to check any of those lakes. Maybe one like in the top right, because we could see some red deer, and I'd say there's a fair chance running into wolves and other things, and that is kind of the tougher part about Cuatro Colinas when it comes to drink times for anything other than red deer. When they did the redistribution, I think with the AR update, they changed around some stuff, and like Mouflon don't drink in the morning anymore. I'm not sure they drink at all during daylight. It's sometime like late in the day. I really don't know many of the drink times on this map, and that's going to make it a little bit tough. I'm not familiar with any of that stuff, but at the same time, I want to say there would have been a pop reset along with that. In fact, I'm certain there was. fair chance that level 3 road deer has been waiting on our map since then, and there's probably a lot of stuff, so like I said, we could switch maps today, we might stay here the entire time, but I definitely want to make sure we cycle through different times a day and check different areas just to be thorough. I couldn't not check this lake. It's been one of the craziest ones for red deer, and even though I had no intentions of going here, I had to come and look, and there's a pretty big mythical, so we'll take that shot. We're not going to get too crazy with grinding. Obviously, I have no intentions to come back here looking for respawns after this hunt. There's a chance we could end up doing a stream or something where we come back, but it is up here in the northeast. I hadn't realized there were still more over on that side. One of the smaller lakes up here around the mountain, and like I said, it's always been very consistent for the numbers of red deer. Figured we come over and look, and we do get a solid mythical out of it. Definitely not too bad. 215 for him. Lower score for racks such as this, but left lung at 217, and maybe we can now move to other species. There was just something there where I had to at least shoot one. Well, that didn't take long. A level 5 Pathetes Ibex. Not a huge surprise given that we didn't touch Ibex at all since the pop reset, and realistically, I'm not so sure that I would have came up here and checked. If we didn't kill the roe deer, and eventually kind of come to the realization that there had been a pop reset, and basically there's a lot of species out here that we haven't looked at since, I'm not so sure I would have bothered, but that going up to 202 has a pretty solid chance. He is the more gray fur type, and that is a insta-kill from the 308 AR-10, so I want to be sure before we go running down there and spook things that there aren't others. Many times, and I think it was during the Ronda Ibex grind or whatever species we needed last when we did our all-diamond Grand Slam multi-mount, I was shooting Pathetes Ibex to clear pressure, and we'd get like 5 or 6 diamond Pathetes before we ever got that last Ibex species, and a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken twice, we had 2 diamonds at the same lake at the same time, so we'll kind of check it out and be sure. No sign of anything else all that crazy, but for max double animal number 2 of our hunt, we have another diamond, one of the lowest scoring diamond Pathetes Ibex I've ever seen at 195. Diamond is 191. I really only ever see 199 or 200. Occasionally maybe 201, down to like 198, 197. I don't think we've ever had a 195, which is interesting at least. Probably slightly different horns or something different than we normally get. He is then smaller than the diamond that we have placed, but we'll tax him maybe for the second lodge. Heart and double lung at 237 meters. No complaints there. That was I think a good decision to bring the 308 today. So this was an area that I kind of knew Mouflon drank at from just trying to be super thorough on the red deer grind, and I was curious to find out what was here. Definitely at least the one herd with a couple of rams, and the areas that I've checked thus far, I've tried to go to where we used to consistently find Mouflon, and they don't appear to be nearly as easy to find as they used to be, so I'll be interested to find out, you know, the other lakes we check over the course of the next 20-30 minutes, where else they might be. But I don't think it's going to be nearly as simple a process as it used to be. It's just go out in the early morning and they were everywhere. As for now though, Mouflon Ram number 1 is a gold at 146.4. I never really paid much attention to the requirements for them because golds are so easy to come by normally, but with the change of the drink time, that might not any longer be the case. Hard shot again from the 308, having no problems with that today. I'm not even sure where else to check. I don't know if I showed this was the lake that I was talking about for the Mouflon, by the way. But we'll just jump around to a couple spots and see how we do. This is a place I would have expected to see a Mouflon, and I'm not even sure. I might have jumped over here and then saw nothing and gone elsewhere. That being about a 300 meter shot works pretty well from the 308 as well. We're down here in the lakes that you often encounter southeastern Spanish Ibex at, and good to see the Mouflon are still in this area. That one a max wood estimate level 4 as well. So moving in the right direction with that guy, 155.3. Double lung even dropped him at 300 meters. I wasn't sure if that would be enough to insta-drop them or not. Good to know that's a thing for any future long shots that we gotta take. Well, once again, we have a max weight estimate 4. That seems to be about as well as we're going to do down in this area. And this was actually the first spot that I went to, so I would say there's a fair chance that we were in a couple of areas too early. Pretty sure that just ended up being a vertebrae hit, which probably is a little less than ideal, especially when it's kind of hiding behind a rock out there. I'd like to get a follow-up in there. I really doubt that was a long shot. It didn't seem like it would have been, but I think that's actually going to be our last kill. It's almost 2100, it's 2034 right now, and we basically checked all the areas, at least that I would have thought Mouflon would have been at, so obviously a pretty productive hunt. We got ourselves definitely a main lodge edition in that road here, and then the Bethany's Ibex diamond for the second lodge, but we'll go over here and take a look and see what this guy is. Now that is the most interesting thing to me. It's almost below the gold requirement. It would have been a gold if not for the fact that our follow-up shot was nowhere near the lungs and our first shot was indeed a vertebrae shot, but I guess not too bad. Plenty of level 4s out here. It'll be interesting to see in future hunts where we end up encountering them, and I don't know. I wouldn't expect a redistribution again changing Mouflon drink time for Cuatro, but we'll see what the update brings when we get there. And I actually ended up deciding to put him in here on the wall instead. We had a diamond secret at this spot, and it just made this whole wall kind of imbalanced. So I think it works good having him across from another diamond road here. An 83.7 from back in January of 2021. Now adding an 85.59 apparently. It said 85.6 in the harvest screen. We'll go with the trophy lodge of 85.59, but I mean, you compare the rack. It is so much bigger, even though it's only a difference of like 2 or 3 points. I like having that up there, and I think that may still end up in the multi-mount. We'll see going forward, but I could not have expected a diamond road deer today, much less a max weight diamond road deer, and certainly worth going around and checking out our Cuatro before the reset. We'll be sure to do that on some other maps as well going forward, and hopefully we can have similar results. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.